This is short stuff, betting stuff.
Ciao.
It is a ka-chow kind of day as we head into NFL Week 8, College Football Week 9.
Ooh, it's flying by.
It's crazy.
We are not even halfway through the NFL season yet.
Still feels like it's flying by.
College season now.
More than halfway
That's
through the
funny,
college
too.
season. So this
Halfway done
is
with Neil Brown shit.
what?
More than halfway done with Neil Brown shit.
That's not fair. You are like 2 games into being done with Neil Brown shit.
Oh, I've added the others.
Retroactively.
I can do whatever I want.
All right.
This is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff, number one sports betting podcast coming out of Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I'm your host, the original degenerate, Muff. Howdy,
Mouthful,
folks.
muff.
Howdy,
I'm off.
howdy. Joined alongside the Ohio Homer, the Ohio degenerate, and the capo of the Midwest Crack House, Jim.
The crack house had a rough night last night, but hello.
Is that in an unsavory part of Columbus, or are you
Well,
talking
probably
about?
both.
You're talking about some hockey that was played in Seattle.
Seattle. That was a rough game against the Avalanche. Rough game.
But remember, Jim, hockey is not like football.
Hockey is not like football. I keep telling myself that.
One game is not going to make the season.
That's right.
And last, certainly not least, another half of the original degenerate crew, the medical degenerate, Alex.
That's me.
I feel like the beginning of last episode, didn't we talk about some things that were interesting, funny to us, maybe not to everyone else?
I think you and I had a bet.
Nah, that's for this upcoming week.
Okay.
That's Purdue, Oregon, which I'm still
Oh,
trying to figure out why
No, you
that's.
mean Illinois, Oregon.
Yeah. Still trying to
I
figure
was
out
like,
why
wow.
that's.
We bet someone bet Purdue.
Yeah.
Jim's on the Purdue side.
No, I am not.
You are.
I'm on the Illinois side.
Illinois side. Yes, on the Illinois side. If anybody new that's listening, which I I gotta do a deep dive into the analytics here. It's been an unusually large amount of downloads on Thursday mornings. So I think that means we're reaching people.
Telling friends, making friends.
Touching me, touching you.
So if you're one of those new listeners, make sure you tell other listeners or other new listeners. They tell somebody, and we just have this big old thing, and then maybe we can start getting paid for what we do, and the production value can go up, and you know, then we can really be sponsored by the exclusive betting app of sports stuff betting stuff, FanDuel.
FanDuel.
Not really sure how you could get better quality than what you have here, but
FanDuel's getting like a lot of play from different areas. I don't know what I was watching, but they were like, FanDuel. I think it was an NFL game. I think they're sponsoring NFL games.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I was upset. I was like, there goes our opportunity.
I'm upset.
what was our opportunity to be sponsored or to be sponsoring NFL games?
Yeah. No,
I
I mean,
mean-
so FanDuel will jump on our boat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're a much cheaper option, so I mean, this is a drop in the bucket for them if they can get NFL buy-in.
What do we want from FanDuel? Just for them to acknowledge us? To name a parlay after us?
I feel like first off, we need acknowledgement.
Okay.
We need like
Honestly,
a
if FanDuel
reshare.
acknowledged our existence, that would be a great first step.
They need to add us in a post, like
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
share something to their stories on Instagram. Something of that nature. I feel like is step one, just acknowledgement, awareness. A parlay would be cool. I would love, if they would take clips from the show and play it somewhere. Like they have like
Okay.
special, like Kay Adams. Oh my God. Like they've got those kind of personalities. Like we had that situation
Yeah,
where
I'm with you.
they aired our segments, and then that just gives us more play. I don't care about the parlay
Okay.
because
All right.
that's a winning or losing endeavor. But if they air our content, we win.
True.
I'm with you.
If we suck at parlays, which let's be honest, we have yet
We're
to
not great.
We're gonna get there. I dropped the ball this week.
We've all, I think,
Spoiler alert.
collectively dropped the ball over the past 3 or 4 weeks. So
Spoiler alert.
we've passed the hot potato there. How this
But
works?
hold
Oh,
on.
go ahead.
To be fair, I think we've hit 3 out of 4 legs. What, like 4 weeks running?
Definitely 2 or 3. I don't know about 4.
We have to really
Positive.
commit this week.
I think we're doing okay, guys. I think we're doing okay.
No, this week, not if we don't win.
It's baby steps, bro. We used to miss like a lot.
So we need to commit this week.
Are you not committed every other week, Alex?
Extra committed.
Okay.
Full blown focus.
How this works is we're gonna go over the NFL games. We're gonna go over last week's best bets, our specialty picks. Then we'll go over this week's NFL games as well as the college football slate. Give you our best bets for the week and then our specialty picks. As a reminder, again, we all have our special items of good luck, our totems, our tokens, and they bring us to Victory Town. And this has been a very, very lucrative strategy over the past few weeks for the group.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start out. Jim, explain to the world what you're using as an item or items of good luck.
The Ohio State flag hat.
I mean, the hat's cool, but we have to do the articles of speech.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, I do. Yes.
pronoun.
Yes. I actually, to be fair, I honestly don't wear this hat only for the podcast.
I like the hat. I have nothing against the hat. I have something against the fact that you say the state.
The Ohio State hat.
Right? Because the hoodie changes week to week, correct?
Correct. It's the hat that I honestly don't wear it except for the podcast. Like I'm running on such a great streak right now for the podcast that like not messing that up.
You wear the same underwear, socks.
No, no.
I cannot talk about Jim's underwear. I would count that as a win for the day.
All right. Alex, tell the world your item of good luck.
My item of good luck is my tie-dye OB golf hat that belonged to my grandfather. It's back in action. I did just as good last week without it, and I think that's because I was at work, so I had a good excuse not to have it. So 2 weeks in a row, doing well. I count last week as a token week, even though I didn't actually have it on me.
So I am of the understanding, Alex, and this is just recently a new development. That is what they call a sandlot hat.
Really?
At least that's what Homage is branding their hats. And it's
Like it
very,
has like high in the yarn.
yep, that is what they're branding their hats. They look similar to your, I mean, not tie-dye, of course,
Well,
but they are sandlot hats.
Alex, if
yeah.
you're trying to show us this right now, we can't see shit.
I'm not. I'm retrieving the inside of it.
Okay.
It says Imperial Headwear, just my Imperial Headwear, just a mile above the rest of them. Since 1916, Denver, Colorado. America's best made headwear.
America.
America.
All right.
Little did we know that Colorado had America's best headwear. From headwear to head shops, welcome to Colorado.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, my item of good luck. We switched to this about 4 weeks ago. We had a week or two that wasn't as lucrative, but we're in a good spot now. It's my West Virginia conductor's cap, bought from Topper Thrift for $1 bill, where you can get all of your items for cheap. All right, let's get into last week's recap. Another winning week for everyone on the show. We will start with the best winning percentage from last week. Alex at 5-1.
That's me. I went 5-1. That brings me to a total overall of 26-23 with a winning percentage of 531. I won Miami -4.5 at Louisville, Eagles -3 at the Giants, Bengals -5.5 at the Browns, Lions +1.5 at the Vikings, and the Commanders -8.5 versus the Panthers. My only loss was Texas -4.5 versus Georgia. But other than that, 5-1, killed it in the NFL. Had a good week. We're back.
Back in the game. Jim, second place this week.
Went 5-2. My two losses were in college. Lost the BYU -9.5 against Oklahoma State. Lost the USC -7.5 against Maryland. And then went undefeated in the NFL. Commanders -8.5 against the Panthers.
Bum, 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 bum,
Eagles
bum.
-3. Eagles -3 against the Giants. Lions +1.5 against the Vikings. Bengals -5.5 against the Browns. And Texans +2.5. Due to the typo, I apologize. Against the Packers.
There was controversy.
Controversy.
There was much controversy on Sunday, as there was a typo in the notes as well as in the graphics because the notes translate to the graphics, where Jim was adamant that he had Texans +2.5,
Mhm.
and I was adamant that the information that was available to me at the time indicated Texans -2.5. So Jim referred to his bet ticket that had the timestamp, and I also referred to the action app because they show you line movement over throughout the week. And indeed, there was not a 4-point change in that line. It was
Right.
Texans +2 points.
Within 5 minutes from when Jim's timestamp was.
Yes. So Jim got that win. I was in third this week, but still winning record 6-3. Real quick, Jim, are you happy that you're betting the NFL? Because you almost just said you weren't going to do that all year.
Oh, it's saved me 2 weeks running. So yes.
All right. I went 6-3. I have a 27-23 overall record for a 540 winning percentage. Started off slow. Lost 3 of my first 4 games. BYU -9.5 loss. Clemson -21.5. Hosting Virginia. Virginia somehow scored 21 points in the fourth quarter of this one. That's how this went
Sorry.
down.
Yeah.
That was I just saw like a halftime score and I was like, I feel good about this. And then like 3 hours later, I looked at the final score and I said, what happened? I got Michigan,
Not so
Illinois.
fast, my friend.
That was a Lee Corso moment. And Michigan, Illinois under was a win, and USC blew a lead against Maryland, uh, losing that game. And then I went on a run. I had K-State covering 3.5 against WVU. Sorry, Alex. Sometimes you just have
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, I understand.
Eagles cover 3 against the Giants. Bengals cover 5.5 against the Browns. Commanders cover 8.5 against the Panthers. And the Jets, Steelers over 38.5, which the Steelers almost got themselves.
Yeah.
So we all had good weeks. In addition to our individual good weeks, in our specialty picks, first in the Mike All Stop Hit Stick Pick of the Week.
Pow, pow, pow. That's 3 weeks running on you. That's 3 weeks. You've been slipping.
I'm gonna go back and re-listen.
You should.
If you say it when I do it, Alex, I feel like your voice, how you're delivering it, is not picking up in the
I'll work
microphone.
on it. I'll work on it. I'll be quicker.
I don't know how to work on that. I'm just telling you, I think that's the
I'm
issue.
gonna work on it.
All right.
You're also not seeing his face because you don't look at his face, right?
No,
Look at my face.
I don't see his face.
He's in left field when you set him up. I'm watching his eyeballs.
It was a win. The hit stick pick goes to 5-3 as we pick the Commanders to cover 8.5, hosting the Panthers. The fade the Panthers train continues to prove beneficial to our lives.
Oh yeah.
Next in the Midwest Mobster risky pick of the week.
Get out of here.
It is a win as we took the Lions as moneyline dogs against the Vikings. The Lions pull this one out, and the risky pick goes to 4-4 for the year.
Feeling good. Our parlays or our specialty picks are where they're supposed to be, I feel. We're getting that mobster pickup.
Remember, that's a moneyline dog, so we don't expect that to win every week.
Feeling good.
And in the Sell the Nutting Team Bob parlay,
Ah,
good job, guys. You guys gave it that extra beat. I'm proud of you.
You weren't premature.
You were not premature today. We won 3 of the 4 legs. We started with the hit stick pick, Commanders -8.5, which was a win. Then Jim tossed in the Lions +1.5, I believe.
yep.
I said the Browns can't beat anybody. Took the Bengals to cover 5.5. And then Alex got on the phone with Matthew McConaughey and said horns up, which should have been the first indication of
I'm
concern.
sorry.
You did us dirty.
Well, we talked about this. We've all been the demise of this parlay at some point in the past few weeks.
That's what sucks too. I went 5-1. I literally could have picked any of my other picks and we'd have won.
It's okay,
Sometimes
bud.
you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, Alex.
Uh, I was a nail this week. Well, I shouldn't say that. I was actually a hammer this week, except for this pick.
Except one particular pick. All right. Let's get into this week's NFL slate. Starting Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime with Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels hosting Vikings traveling to the Rams. Vikings favored by 3 coming off a loss to the Lions over under 48.5.
I
Thursday Night
think
Football.
the Rams win this one. I would say they cover.
The
But
Rams.
The
I meant
Rams.
I meant the Vikings. My fault. My fault. The Vikings win this one, but it's Thursday Night Football. I'm staying away.
This is the closest I've been, I think, to picking a Thursday night game.
That's
I feel like
true.
I've said that before, but I mean it this time. Man, the Vikings look like a good spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I don't disagree. I would actually venture more towards the under
Mhm. I mean,
in
you
this
used to be
one.
able to pull. You used to be the man of stats here and tell us if the unders were hitting on Thursdays.
Well, I mean, I will say, I believe the past 2 weeks, Vegas has been getting crushed with favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Vegas is going to correct themselves this week, and favorites are going to maybe be hedged a little in the other direction. So I'm going to be really careful about choosing favorites this week because Vegas has been getting crushed. If there's one thing I know about Vegas is they always find a way to get their money.
That's
The
fair.
books always do. So I feel like this is a week of caution,
All right.
which is why I may look to more over and under lines this week.
Hmm.
But I'm going to stay away from this one as far as the best bet. Moving into Sunday football. No games in London this week, but the first game does involve somebody that maybe should take a trip across the pond. Cardinals out, Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa practiced on Wednesday. Dolphins favored by 3.5, over under 46.5.
I don't even want to watch
This
this
is a
game.
stay away game.
Maybe the stay away game of the year just because you don't want to see the train wreck happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay away because I don't want to feel any type of responsibility, albeit very minuscule and small percentages, that I bet on the Dolphins and Tua got hurt.
Yep.
Stay away.
Yep.
Alex, staying away.
I'm staying away.
All right, next we have the Jets at the Patriots. Jets favored by 7, over under 46.5.
Jets look good here. And I say that because I think that the Jets were excited about Devontae Adams and they got disappointed by the Steelers. I think this might be their game to come out and be like, yeah, hey, we made a move for a reason. We're good. And being that the Patriots kind of suck.
Patriots with Drake may haven't been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the final scores have not been great. I will not say otherwise to that. Also, remember the Patriots are coming back from London.
Well,
So they're playing on a little bit of a short week based on their travel schedule.
I like the Patriots. I don't know. I'm not saying they win, but those points,
It's a big line.
very
It's a big
interesting.
line.
And you gave me the
Uh,
whole favorite spiel there.
Yeah, and that's another reason that seems like slightly inflated. But the Jets also get Hassan Reddick back this week, right? He agreed on terms to come back, so that's another defensive player for them. They have Devontae Adams, so things are trending to the Jets, but I'm going to stay away. Next, Eagles at Bungles. The Bungles favored by 1.5, over under 47.5. Does this feel like a trick line?
yeah, I feel like I'd take the Eagles here.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean that direction. The Eagles plus the points and say that's a consideration for the mobster pick.
Agreed.
I actually, when you say trick line, have we looked at it? Like, was that not a typo?
You can double check me, but
I'm gonna right now because I mean, you're a very accurate human being, so I'm not gonna say that you make mistakes, but that seems way off.
As you was
You
checking
are
that,
accurate. You are accurate. Holy shite!
well aware.
yeah, I mean the Eagles have AJ Devontae Smith, still good. I mean Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith
Versus the Bengals,
versus the Bengals.
which I
Now,
mean, like average at best.
Like, are we missing something?
I don't think there's any injuries out there that I'm aware of.
Is there COVID?
I don't know if the NFL believes in that anymore.
Oh,
Are we
okay.
past that in the NFL?
I think so. Next, Packers at Jaguars. Packers favored by 4.5, over under 48.5.
Packers.
There's a favorite here so far. This is the favorite I would be looking at. That might be one that ends up in the slate, boys. Packers to cover as a home
Dallas
favorite.
Godart, McKee Becton, Zach Braun, and Byron Young all missed practice.
None of them changed my opinion.
Limited participants in the Eagles game: it's Saquon Barkley, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Josh Sweat, and Eli Ricks.
Yeah, those are I believe in the NFL world they call those G days.
Yeah.
The older vets are like, yeah, you're a limited participant today. What does that mean? That means I'm older and I just don't want to practice every day. So
Yeah.
the Falcons traveling to Nate's Bucks. Falcons favored by 2.5, over under 45.5. Obviously, the Bucks now without Chris Godwin.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans also questionable. No, Chris Godwin like snapped his leg, Alex.
I went to sleep before that happened.
Yeah. It happened.
He's done. And Mike Evans is questionable.
Oh wow. No, I saw the Mike Evans
Is he out?
hamstring.
Oh, if he's out, then there you go. Their top two wide receiver threats
I fell
gone.
asleep for the Chris Godwin incident. That is something I will have to look into as the medical degenerate.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a snapped leg, but he's out. I think it was a knee injury. But yeah, he's done. So I mean, I understand why the Falcons are favored here. It's probably a good spot for the Falcons. But I'm gonna stay away from that one for now.
Yeah, me too.
Ravens at the Browns. Ravens favored by 9.5, over under 44.5. Jameis Winston starting minus Amari Cooper. Right, we finally get a quarterback who may be able to throw the ball, and he has no weapons, no receivers. He has David Njoku. That's about it. Elijah Moore,
Yeah.
and then Nick Chubb to hand it off to.
I wouldn't judge anyone who took the Ravens here.
Jameis Winston is a wild card to me. I'm not saying that the Browns win, but he could do some crazy crap.
I wouldn't judge.
Jim?
I'm gonna stay away. I'm not like I don't really care about this game.
Okay.
Like I feel terrible having to bet on the game. It'll pop up on my television because I'm in Columbus, and then like because I have a bet, I'll have to watch it. And I don't want to watch a Browns game. Like I just don't.
Sure. Colts at Texans. Texans favored by 5.5, over under 46.5.
I'm gonna take the Texans.
We have Anthony Richardson starting. Should be starting. See if he gets hurt. If Joe Flacco is starting, does that change your mind, Jim?
No.
Okay. Texans healthy. Joe Mixon's back. Stephon Diggs, if he doesn't get in a fight with the whole Colts team, will play. Maybe Tank Dell will get a target.
I hope so. I'm just gonna let it ride.
No, I don't begrudge you at all for doing that. It's been working, so stick with it. I'm gonna stay away though. Alex.
I would say like
Titans at Lions. Lions favored by 10.5 points. Over under 44.5.
I'm waiting.
Something about this over under line that I like.
I think I have to ride with them. I mean, I've been with them.
Oh my God.
I mean, why would I stop now?
That's all Jim needed to hear.
I think you ride them till they buck you.
Jim, is that all you needed?
I want to see it go on his card. Boom. Nope, that was Muff. That was not Alex.
I just really, at this point, just pausing just for dramatic effect.
Yeah,
All right.
there it
Well,
is.
there's drama going on. Saints at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 7.5. Over under 40.5.
I don't see why the Chargers don't cover, but I'm not going to bet that because my slate is getting big.
I mean, do what
I'm
you gotta
not.
do, Jim. Do what you gotta do. I'm gonna stay away from this.
I don't have it in me to do that one.
Yeah. Bills at Seahawks. Bills favored by 3. Over under 47.5. This is another one where the favorite seems like the logical pick.
Yeah, I mean,
DK Metcalf questionable?
as much as I love Gino, I mean, it would make sense to bet the Bills here.
Yeah, this might be one of those where I just say, but Vegas, if you get me with this one, you did. You got me. Good for you. Caught the tater.
Hot potato, he says.
Caught the tater. Next, Bears at Commanders.
Bum, 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 bum.
The Bears favored by 2.5.
Yep,
Is Jaden Daniels officially out?
I think
Questionable.
yes. Due to a rib injury, I believe he is out this week.
All
I
right.
thought it was questionable.
You can double check me, but
That Bears minus 2.5 leads me to believe that he's out.
Okay.
Or
to be honest,
doubtful. One of
even with him
those.
out though, I don't know.
Marcus Mariota. Right. I'm not gonna put the fork in the Commanders for this one. But for that reason, I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, and I mean realistically, if it wasn't for Daniels being out, this line would be the opposite way.
Do they call in the Chargers team doctor for this one?
Hopefully not. Let's say end up with a I'm
We don't need deflated lungs, Jim.
You're right.
gonna bring it up, but since left it.
Panthers at Broncos. Broncos minus 9.5. Over under 41.5. Zero interest in watching this game. Zero interest in caring about this game. Zero interest in betting
Yeah,
this
but I
game.
mean, isn't that an easy one? That's what I'm sitting here thinking.
Broncos aren't necessarily running away with games.
Yeah, they don't score enough points, right?
It's just not. I mean, they did last week against the Saints, but that was like the perfect disaster. So, and that was Sean Payton coming back, like all the things lined up for that. I'm gonna stay away from this. If somebody took Broncos minus 9.5, I would say kudos to you. You're riding the wave against the Panthers. I just can't do it on this one.
That's fair.
Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs minus 9.5. Over under 41.5. Chiefs just got who'd they just get?
D Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins.
They just got D Hop.
So
Chiefs have just not been covering machines. So they've been
yeah.
winning machines, but not covering machines. So I'm going to
Yep.
stay away. I'm staying away from everything in this game. Just I have no idea what's about to go down.
Yeah.
America's game of the week on Fox. Cowboys at 49ers. 49ers favored by 4.5. Over under 45.5.
I don't want to take the 49ers to bounce back, but they have so many injuries, and the Cowboys are so unpredictable. They could turn up like a pile of dog poo or beat the 49ers. And for that reason, I'll be staying away.
There's only one person in this game I'm going to be cheering for. Ricky Pearsall.
Fantasy.
Huh?
Fantasy?
No, it's because the man got shot in the chest
Oh yeah.
less than 3 months ago.
Fair.
That's
No, I
fair.
took him to score a touchdown in his last game, so
Yeah.
he didn't just to clarify, but
No, listen, it's the man I'm cheering for. Without all their receivers out, he might become wide receiver 2. Kittle if he plays, and then Pearsall.
Yeah.
yep.
In Monday Night Football, coming off a primetime win, the Steelers get the Giants as the whipping boys. Giants at Steelers. Steelers favored by 6.5. Over under 36.5.
I
I'm
want to
take
take the over so bad here.
I'm taking the Steelers, and I might flirt with the over.
I'm just gonna go straight Steelers, boys. It's the only pick I'm gonna formally lock in.
That was the first one I hammered in.
I don't like to bet on the team.
Well, you're betting against the Giants.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this isn't as much betting for the Steelers. This is betting against the Giants. It's like the fade the Panthers situation here.
Fair.
All right, that wraps up the NFL, which brings us into college football, starting with Thursday night football. Syracuse at the University of Pittsburgh, playing at Heinz Field. Pitt favored by 6.5, over under 54.5.
So
Yeah.
sidebar.
Oh.
Sidebar story. I was at a meeting of the Central Ohio region and West Virginia, and it was sports themed. They were doing the OH cheers and the Let's Go Mountaineers cheers, and a presenter came up and I was like, and they said West Virginia has another cheer, and it starts with, and he started singing "Sweet Caroline," and the West Virginia contingent was very adamant to scream "Eat shit, Pitt," and the Columbus contingent were like, "Oh my!" And I sat there going, "That's them. That's them." So
Found
I
them in
love
the
you, West
wild.
Virginia people.
Found them in the wild.
Yep.
Woo!
I like Pitt here. I think about putting money down on them. Alex, Pitt beat you, bud.
It doesn't matter.
So
Michigan beat you.
I want Pitt to win so bad because fuck Kyle McCord.
Why do you have so
Why?
much hate for him now?
There's a lot of talk. There's a
Go
lot
on.
of talk
Go
about
on.
how like Ohio State shouldn't have cut him.
So why would you hate
That
him?
bad. Like, because his dad still talks that shit.
It might have to talk that shit too, I feel like.
Well, go do something in Syracuse, then we'll talk.
If I was 6-1 or whatever, I'd probably be like, hey, look.
Not a fan. I'm leaning Pitt here.
Wow. Give me Syracuse plus 6.5.
I'm gonna stay away from all this, boys. Feel like this is a lot of spite that's happening at the moment.
No, mine's not spite. I've been thinking about it all week, and I knew everyone was
Alex,
going
you're
to say it
betting
was
against
spite.
Pitt.
I knew this was coming. I have I have bet on Syracuse prior in this year, and I've bet for Pitt.
You have. You're right. You did.
So this is in my heart of hearts. I think Syracuse covers plus 6.5.
I'm gonna stay away now.
In my heart of hearts.
My heart hurts.
I'm gonna back off of this because I'm not gonna make that spite pick. I wanted to. I wanted to throw my money down in spite of Alex, but I'm not now.
There wasn't in spite of Alex. This was in
I
spite
was
of
going
Kyle
to, Muff.
McCord.
It was
When I made that
like-
decision, like I was leaning, and then I was gonna.
You misrepresented your pick.
Well, as soon as he said he's going Syracuse, I was gonna double down and be like, "All right, Pitt." Nope, I'm gonna back away from this.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stay away. You two can have this battle if you want.
Nope,
Uh,
nope.
Friday football, Louisville at Boston College. Louisville favored by 7.5, over under 53.5.
I'm staying away. I want Boston College to win. I think they can win. I don't think Louisville's as good as the hype, but I'm not gonna put my money on it.
Yeah, I'm staying away. I haven't yet to really keep up with what Louisville's got going on in their world, or BC. The only thing I know about BC is when Jim bets on them.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason I put this game on here.
Yeah,
I want to.
next we have Boise State. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's not a bad game to watch, but I'm not betting.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that on Friday night for sure.
Sorry, boys. This is the game of Friday night. Boise State at UNLV. Boise State minus 3.5, over under 64.5.
If you're
I would
watching for players, you're right.
Yeah, I'm watching for Ashton Genty. I am curious. I have not looked at this. I haven't seen this. I wonder what his odds are for the multiple touchdowns. Because his last game, it was like 3 touchdowns was like plus 105. 3
I'm gonna
touchdowns.
I'm gonna hammer Boise State here.
I think this is their best challenge of the year prior to some type of conference championship game, if I remember correctly. So
UNLV is not a bad team for that conference.
yeah. I'm not going to mess with this. I do want to watch it. I would venture the over. I'll probably be watching this at a bar in Pittsburgh after
Wedding.
rehearsal dinner.
Touchdown scoring props. Ashton Jeanty minus 1150 for an anytime score.
I'm so mad I can't
To
do
score
this.
2 touchdowns is minus 250.
How about there's a three? Does he have a 3 line?
He does have a 3 line. It is plus 115.
Jesus. 3 touchdowns at plus 115. That's
What's the
usually
reason?
everybody's 1 touchdown.
Yes, what's the reason to even bet that?
Yeah. Unless you want to bet like $2,000 on the 1 touchdown to win $150.
Exactly.
So, and then he gets hurt. Everybody loses except for the books. Other Friday night football, Rutgers at USC. USC favored by 13.5, over under 55.5.
Rutgers has fallen so far from grace that, like, you would have asked me 4 weeks ago, I'd be like, oh, this should be a -7 USC line. Now it's a minus 13.5. And, like, I'm not sure.
I mean,
At this point,
USC hasn't been impressing either.
right. So, like, I don't know. It's at USC, so I'm going to go with the whole muff theory of they're traveling across the country.
Probably Rutgers' first cross country travel.
So I'm just going to stay the hell away from this.
Yeah. Well, it's Friday night. I feel like Friday night's different than Saturday noon.
But it's still like that. Think of that travel logistics of that. Plus, it's Rutgers, so it's not, you think they're traveling first class? I don't think so.
They traveling a bus.
They're probably traveling coach on Guido Island or Guido Air.
I don't know if we can say that. Um,
I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure they embrace that.
okay.
They play
Saturday.
soprano videos during the game.
Right, that's what they do at their home stadium.
I'm if I offended Italian Americans, I'm sorry.
You're not one of them, Jim. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's not one of them.
Your
You're right.
redhead does not fit.
That's fair. I'm sorry, Italian Americans.
Next in Saturday football, starting, we're gonna look at Nebraska at Ohio State. Ohio State favored by 25.5, over under 48.5. What's Columbus Land feeling this week, Jim?
We don't talk about it for some reason.
What? We don't talk about it because this is the first game since. We don't talk about it because
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
There's
All
not
right.
a lot of talk about it. Like,
We're just like pretending we don't play football anymore in case we lose.
I think it's we're definitely not talking about spreads. That's for sure.
Okay.
I think we were saying we're going to win. That'll happen.
Right.
Covering a 25.5 spread.
He says they're looking at about a 35-10 game. All right. We don't talk about it. We're just not talking about it. Washington at Indiana.
Well, there's
Game
question
day.
marks on that game, to be honest with you. Like,
Okay.
you got the offensive line. That's their key starter on the offensive line is done for the season. They played like absolute dog shit to where they thought they would be. Did the 2 weeks, like, there's rumors that the defense is not, the coaching staff is not gelling well. Ryan Day has had to answer questions throughout the week about that. Like, there's a lot of question marks. So everybody's real tentative.
Washington at Indiana. Indiana favored by 6.5, over under 52.5. I'm probably gonna roll with old Signetti in this one.
It's not a bad pick.
In Indiana,
Game day,
Washington's not great, but Washington did beat Michigan.
which means not a whole bunch this year, unless they play
I'm
Ohio
just trying
State,
to
and
think
then we're gonna
about.
storm the field.
I'm just trying to think about like what's been Washington's tests.
Yeah. I don't really think that's happened yet. They play Washington State already.
I'm looking it up now. Looking. Yeah, no, I take that back. They
Yeah,
have not. Yeah, they did. They lost.
thought the Apple Cup already happened.
Yep. They also lost to Rutgers. They got
Yep.
mollywopped by OU or IU.
Who?
Iowa. Sorry, I'm looking at
Okay.
two things at once. My eyes twitched.
All right. Yep. I'm gonna take Indiana to cover. Next
Yeah,
up,
me too.
Oklahoma at Ole Miss. Ole Miss favored by 20.5, over under 48.5. Just give me the hell away from this game.
Talk about two volatile teams.
Jackson is gonna toss some big old dukes down on the field on this one, though.
I don't know what that means. What a big old
Fort.
deuce.
Jackson. Fort.
He's gonna fart. He's gonna fart big TDs on this one because Oklahoma is dog shit.
So you're telling me
Listen, if you took Ole Miss to cover, you're not gonna hear me say anything to you this week. I just don't. I don't have it. I don't have it to pull the trigger on this one.
that's a lot of points. Give me him to cover. Let's go.
Oh boy.
There you go. Jim's in. Notre Dame at Navy. Notre Dame favored by 12.5, over under 51.5.
I oh
Go.
no and give me
Oh,
Navy plus 12.5. I support the troops.
I also support the troops, but let me put it this way: I support the troops. The troops have their ways of protecting me. The troops do not support me financially, so I will not be putting money down on the troops.
How are we
they
putting money on the troops?
Jim, you love America or do you hate America like me? I guess.
Oh,
I'm staying away.
James America.
Jim embraces the
Well,
communist
sports
state.
stuff with Jim and Mock who don't like America and Alex who does.
That's
The new name of the show.
it. Arkansas at Mississippi State. Arkansas favored by 6.5, over under 57.5.
Mississippi State's been rolling.
And
I mean, they're
Arkansas
not
is not
winning, but they're
consistent.
playing tough
I don't know if that's role. They're competitive. Let's go with that.
compared to what they were doing.
Yeah,
Arkansas is not consistent. I'm not going to bet on this.
yeah, I agree. I'm staying away. Illinois at Oregon. Oregon favored by 21.5, over under 54.5. Jim and I have a quarter bet on this. Oregon minus 10 for me.
Quack, quack.
I'm taking in my work bets. I'm taking Illinois plus the points.
That seems like
Just because I want to make sure this isn't a spite pick. Your justification is
I think Illinois can hold Oregon within that spread. I don't think they're going to win,
right.
but I think they're getting too many points here.
Okay. I just because there's like the perfect storm is happening for me to say this is a spites pick, right? Illinois just beat Michigan, and Oregon just beat Ohio State. So I feel like everything's lining up for you to be like, yeah, or Illinois plus the points.
I don't want Illinois to win. Let me go on record saying I don't
Oh
want
yeah,
Illinois to win. I just think they're getting too many points for the style in which they play for them not to cover.
got it. I'm staying away aside from the quarter bet that Jim and I have. BYU at UCF. BYU not favored in this game. UCF minus 1.5, over and 55.5.
wowed me. I'm not really sure why. I feel like something weird's going on, but I'm going to be tricked into BYU.
UCF's not a bad team. BYU's not consistent all of the time.
BYU's undefeated and UCF has kind of sucked ass.
Alex just laid it out very simply for us, Jim.
That's how I
Okay.
feel about it.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing if not blunt.
You just put it out there for the world. Missouri at Alabama. Alabama favored by 16.5, over to 52.5. Hammering Alabama, boys. Missouri is without their number one rusher. most likely without their number one passer, and they have been proven to be frauds. And I'm not saying that Bama is the Bama of old, but I think this is a get right game for Bama against a team that is reeling.
Get it right. Get it right. Get it tight. I'm staying away.
Jim.
I'm gonna stay away.
All right. Texas at Vanderbilt.
It has to be a typo.
Figure out what this line is here.
Hold on. As someone who did the game, I feel like I would have remembered that.
Texas is favored by.
Keep talking. It's loading. I can only make my phone go so fast.
Loading by.
Go ahead.
Loading by.
Keep talking amongst yourself about
And go to W at Arizona. Arizona favored by 3.5. Over under 53.5.
18 and a half. I was like, this is Texas is favored by 18 and a half Vanderbilt. Anyone have a comment on that game?
I think WVU loses.
But
I introduced that game while you were looking
that's
up,
fair,
Alex.
I know, but yeah, I'm not. I mean, you do whatever you gotta do.
Alex has just accepted it at this point.
I think they lose and Neil Brown gets fired.
No.
Let's go. I would hope. Let me say that.
If-
I'm not gonna put my money on it. I hope
If
they
we
lose.
lose, I'm not. I want us to win because I just want us to win. But if we lose, I want Neil Brown fired. I want Neil Brown
hope they
fired
lose.
anyway.
I
but-
hope they lose and they fire him. For Alex.
Alex, would that make your weekend good?
If Neil Brown got fired,
Yeah.
yeah, it would help.
It would help.
But I still can't pull myself to like want us to lose.
Right.
I hope they lose.
You can hope that. Alex is not on board though. Yeah, I'm staying away from that one. Texas at Vanderbilt. Texas favored by 18.5 over under 53.5.
Staying away.
Yeah.
Same. Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan favored by 3.5. 40.5 is the point line.
I like Michigan State here with the points. That is a spite pick, so I won't be putting it on there, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm staying away from everything Michigan
I think Michigan wins this game.
until further notice. I
Okay.
mean, who are they honoring? Is Connor Stallions getting honored in this game? Who's going to
Right.
try to give him the bump this week?
I don't know. It's stupid.
I don't know. Penn State at Wisconsin in Saturday night football. Here comes Saturday night. Penn State favored by 6.5 over under 47.5. I'm going to go on record that I am not going to mess with this game because I will be at a wedding reception and I don't want to feel compelled to find the score of this game periodically.
You're not going to feel compelled at either way.
If there's a bet, I will feel more compelled.
He will find it. He will be compelled to find out. I feel like what the score is, but not like continuously check to see where his money lies. But like be like, okay, Penn State's winning. I'm going
Yeah, I could like check.
how much.
I can check at like 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, but if I'm worried about the line, then I'm going to want to check like every 5 to 10 minutes.
Your fandom bothers the shit out of me.
I mean, I'm experiencing life not through the lens of college football.
Well, that's not right.
We've already stated
I feel
that
like
my
we've gone through
fandom
this
and your
a million
fandom are not
times.
the same, Jim.
I've delayed someone else's wedding that I was in, their reception. I was like, well, it's almost over, so you can wait this next 2 minutes before I come out to your walkout music for my intro. Like, give me the last 2 minutes of this game, and then you can walk my ass out there.
Oh boy.
See, this is why our fandom is different.
Like, if you're not even gonna check the scores because you don't have money on it, I'd be at least checking the scores like every 20 minutes.
He's gonna check his scores. Excuse me. He didn't say he wasn't gonna check the scores, just not his free
I know Muff. I don't know that he will.
He will.
I mean,
I
who
saw him
knows?
excited.
Right. And I mean, full disclosure, there's going to be more Ohio State fans at this wedding than there are Penn State fans.
I've had earpieces in when I wasn't supposed to and listen to the game.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is why our fandom is different. I'm going to respect the wishes of people that I'm in the wedding for.
I've told employers I won't work on the Michigan game. I'll quit my job.
And this is why we can get your goat sometimes on this fandom, Jim. You've just you've just laid it out why we can say things and you get amped up sometimes.
Yeah, damn right.
Ellis, well, you guys' thoughts.
I think we covered it.
I hope Penn State wins.
All right, LSU at Texas A&M. A&M favored by 2.5 over to 53.5.
This
No,
is a,
thank you.
this is a good game though. This game could have actually a lot of implications when it comes down to playoff time. But I'm not going to bet on it. But it does. It's an important game.
That is important in the SEC. Kansas at Kansas State. Kansas State favored by 9.5 over to 55.5.
Boy, stay away from this bad boy.
Why, Alex?
It just two unpredictable teams. I mean, Kansas has not been able to find any luck at all, and it's kind of an luck thing almost. It's like they just can't get over that hump, and uh, I feel like Kansas State's yeah, good team when they play well. I just stay away. Neither one of these teams are reliable. That's all sum it up.
Alex, WVU is also a good team when they play well.
Well, WVU, just Neil Brown sucks. That's my statement.
They're a bad team when they play poorly.
Neil Brown sucks. I'll say no more.
Auburn at Kentucky. Kentucky favored by 2.5 over to 42.5. Jim, you were all about this one.
I think Auburn's on the come up. Kentucky's a good team. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. I lean Auburn here with the points. What do you guys?
You included this game to tell us you were leaning.
Well, I'm hoping for feedback from you boys.
Nothing to offer you. I honestly have nothing to offer you.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I personally would have gone the other way.
Really?
I'd have
Why?
taken Kentucky.
I feel like it's like Kentucky homecoming.
Oh, that's a good question, Muff. That is a good question. See, this is why I bring it to you guys.
I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like it's that time of the year.
Yeah, Kansas
Kentucky
State was
home-
pretty decent homecoming, but guess what? Neil Brown didn't care. I mean, he did. He wanted us to have fun.
No, Muff, homecoming for them was last week. Last week.
I mean, I was that would sway my opinion, but it does not change that I'm not interested, and I have no real valuable opinion to share.
All right.
So you put that on there to
Garner feedback from my friends.
okay.
Get off my ass.
SMU at Duke. SMU favored by 11.5 over under 48.5.
Why we put this on there?
I put it on here because
Alex
it's
question. I don't have this one.
decent ACC matchup. I think Duke's only lost one game. SMU's rolling, but I mean SMU will probably win this game. I'm not going to bet on it, but it's an interesting game to watch.
Okay.
Cincinnati at Colorado. Colorado minus 5.5 over under 57.5.
I honestly was like, why is SMU Duke on here?
It's the only reason is that SMU is a good ACC team, and right now Duke's only a one-loss ACC team, but hasn't really had any challenges yet. So SMU could be a good challenge for them to see if they're real or fake based on how bad they get beat. I think SMU wins this game, and it'll just be a matter of what's the spread in the end.
All right, give me Colorado to cover, Alex.
F you.
Are you putting it down? Because
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
done. It's done.
No shit.
Nope. I'm not betting on it, but I'm just saying I hope you lose.
Oh, why? Why do you hate Travis Hunter?
No, it has nothing to do with Travis Hunter.
Do you not want Travis Hunter to be successful in life, Alex?
I want him to be successful in life in the NFL. Or if he transfers.
What if Shadur Sanders transferred to WVU?
Oh, that would be
But Dion wasn't part of the deal. It was just
What if they fired Neil Brown and got Dion?
Oh,
I can't talk about that. It is too late.
what? Oh my God, Alex, what if
Don't
that
stir
happened?
my anxiety this late at night.
That
That'd be
would be
so
like
worth
the
it.
most perfect storm just to Alex, even if you
We're
didn't
gonna
want to
get
get
Nick Saban, so it's not an issue right now.
Alex, even if you didn't want to get season tickets next year, I would buy them for you just
Oh
so I
yeah.
could say you had to come with me because you would feel too guilty not to come to the games if I paid for them.
Oh, as long as we don't have like as long as we can just freaking play the fight song.
I'd be so happy.
If they both come, well, first of all, Shitter's going to the NFL, but
Is there a rap version of the fight song?
no,
Alex says no.
sorry.
That was very adamant and forceful.
Don't now I have anxiety.
I will pay $50 to anyone who sends in a rap version of WVU's fight song.
Okay, there's the answer. All right, that wraps up the discussion on the college football games this week, which leads into our best bets, starting with Alex.
All right. So in the college row, I will take Syracuse plus 6.5 at Pitt, Navy plus 12.5 versus Notre Dame, and BYU plus 1.5 at UCF. Big underdog guy this week. In the NFL, I will take the Eagles plus 1.5 at the Bengals, the Packers minus 4.5 at the Jaguars, the Lions minus 10.5 versus the Titans, and the Steelers Giants over 36.5.
Jim.
I'm going to take the Steelers minus 6.5 against the Giants, Texans minus 5.5 against the Colts, Eagles plus 1.5 against the Bengals, Lions minus 10.5 against the Titans, Boise State minus 3.5 against UNLV, Indiana minus 6.5 against Washington, Old Miss minus 20.5 against Oklahoma, and BYU plus 1.5 against UCF.
Muff?
Jim, I don't know how you put these in an order that's so fucked up. But you do it every week. Somehow in the NFL, the Steelers minus 6.5, the Monday night game is the first one of the NFL. And I
I
don't
like how the
understand.
loyal listeners have to listen to us talk about how effed up our notes are at least once per episode.
It's just, it's not a
There's
clean copy
something
paste for
nefarious
me.
that
That's all I
goes
need.
this episode.
All
It
right,
makes me feel good.
what makes you feel good? Me getting frustrated?
Yes.
Just once, just once. I want you to put together all of these graphics that make no sense whenever they're all mixed matched.
It makes sense to me as I think about it.
What order? Okay, what order is that in before I made that edit?
It's in an order of how I think
I
the
feel like maybe
games.
we should talk about the college games first, the NFL games second. So like Jim puts them in his notes, so we'll be right.
No,
I
because it doesn't
go,
matter.
What if we just talk about the games in reverse order or in order? So like Thursday
No,
night
because
games.
I know, Alex, Jim, what's your logic? How does this work? Why are they in the order they're in right now?
I go with the ones that I know I will that I know I want first.
Just confidence.
Yeah, it's based on my confidence.
So you're most confident in all NFL games this week,
Yeah.
and you're most confident in the Steelers.
Yes.
We're gonna refer back to this later, Alex, because I feel like this is this week's order. We're about to find out. All right, I'm gonna take Indiana to cover 6.5, hosting Washington. Alabama to cover 16.5, hosting Missouri. Colorado minus 5.5, hosting Cincinnati. Eagles plus 1.5 at the Bungles. Packers minus 4.5 at Duval. Bills minus 3 traveling to Seattle, and the Giants are gonna lose
You're
by
straight
at
up
least
hater.
7 points. Coming to Renegade City in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Monday Night Football.
I'm really not happy with your Cincinnati pick or your Bills pick. I mean, like I also agree that the Bills will probably cover that, but I just think it's a personal attack on Geno Smith.
No, it's a Bills or a wagon right now. Sorry about it. In Colorado, just because they're actually not a bad team, despite how much you hate them, Alex. All right, that leads us into our specialty picks, starting with the Mike All Star Hit Stick Pick of the Week.
Pow, pow, pow.
We on the
Uh,
Steelers, or Alex is not?
I'm good with the Steelers.
Other common picks.
I feel like the Eagles we need to use elsewhere. Oh,
Yes.
you're not on the Lions.
No, I took them out.
I'd say Packers or Steelers.
James,
I'd also be okay with Indiana.
Jim,
Um, I don't know.
Alex offered up Packers, Steelers, Indiana. Are you in agreement
I
with any of
know.
those? You want to add any others?
I know. I'm agreeing with one of those. Let's go to the light on one of those.
You
Which one are you agreeing with? We need to
literally have two
identify.
of the three.
I like the Eagles and I like Indiana.
Eagles are elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we want to double use the Eagles. So if you're good with Indiana, I'm good with Indiana. Alex is good with Indiana.
Let's do Indiana.
Let's take Kurt
All right.
Signetti hosting game
Google
day
it. He wins.
to stay undefeated. I think he's the Italian American you want to put all your chips on the table for right now, Jim. Kurt Signetti.
Google
All right.
it. He wins.
Just Google him. All right, next in the
All right.
Midwest Mobster risky pick of the week.
Get out of here.
Wow. Eagles.
I think are we all in agreement it's going to be the Eagles?
Yeah.
Eagles money line traveling to Cincinnati. You okay with us picking against this Cincinnati team, Alex?
Yes.
All right. Leads us to the Sell the Nutting team, Bob Parlay.
Get out of here.
Oh.
Oh, wait, shit.
That's mixed signals.
My bad. Got it right once.
Premature, get out of here. All right. We go from worst record for this past week to best record. Even though I went 6-3, I find the title of worst for this past week. Indiana minus 6.5 is in there as the all-star pick. I am going to. I'm going to go with the Packers. Minus 4.5, traveling to Duval. Next we have Jim.
Give me the Steelers.
Steelers minus 6.5. Hosting the Giants on Monday Night Football. Alex?
Give me the Eagles plus 1.5 at the Bengals.
Yay.
Knock
Done
on
it.
wood. It's a good pick.
This is the parlay. This is the one.
Oh.
This is the winner. Right. Oh.
Buffet the noise.
Oh. All right, everybody. That is this week's episode of Sports Stuff Betting Stuff. You can catch us at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure that you do all those action verbs. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
Get that bell on, and hopefully it's a dinner bell that's got nice steaks lined up.
Can we just stop right there? Like, I love that. Hopefully, it's a dinner bell's got nice steaks.
Because it's funny, because like steaks, like betting steaks, or steaks like meat.
Right. Nice steaks.
And you have those nice steaks when you get
A payday.
A payday.